Okay. So, welcome everybody to another day of the World Youth Teams Championships in Veldhoven. Today with me I have Geoff Hampson, Christian Jolly, and Anam Tebha. And we're going to be covering the USA2 Netherlands match today, which should be a fun lineup. And Geoff has worked with the USA2 team in the past, and it should be good to show them on stream for a bit as well. So I have up here just the results page right now, looking at sort of where things stand in the U26s, and yeah, so let you guys introduce yourselves, say hi, etc.
Hi, I think I'm unmuted. Yeah. I'm
Yes.
Geoff Hampson. I was coach for the weekly practices with USA2. It was a lot of fun. And watching them today, hoping that they can start their run and get into a qualifying position and take it from there.
Awesome.
And
Yes.
I'm Anam, ex-junior. Um, just rooting for our kids as usual.
Yeah, and I am Christian, also an ex-junior. Also excited to see this. So we're through how many of the matches now, Kaplan? We're through
Uh,
12 or 13?
we're through 13. We're going into the 14th. So,
And how many are there? It's like a full round robin, so 23.
yes, precisely.
So they're in pretty okay shape.
They're 26
Eight
out.
is at 150. Match and a half out with 10 matches to go. It's anyone's game.
Yeah, you
Nine
probably
matches to
you
go.
should probably try to start winning at this point. It's probably time to start moving up.
Doing some quick math, it looks like about 11 and a half victory points a match is the qualifying spot, which historically those numbers go down over time. And so they need to make up what they are behind. They're right now about average. So that they definitely need to start getting some like 12s or better out of their scoring. And I don't haven't really studied the cross section of the field that they have played. So it's hard to know whether they have a tough finish or an easy finish. But definitely now is the time to start, putting in some wins. It's certainly not desperate yet.
No, but they do. This is going to be a bit of a tough match. I don't know to your point about whether it's going to
Digital
be,
match.
but this is the USA2 versus the Netherlands that we're about to watch, right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's gonna be interesting to say the least. I
Yeah, they
mean,
do have a
Netherlands
challenging
are, yeah,
team.
it's a challenging match for them, right? Yeah.
Certainly.
Certainly, judging from how the teams are standing, yeah, Netherlands looks to be doing very well.
Yes, and the Netherlands has quite a few strong players on it as well. It's Oscar and Tim, who've played quite a few U.S. nationals recently, as well as Siebrand and Stefan, who also have come to a number of nationals, and quite strong players themselves. And then Jut Karas and Pim Dupont, who I don't actually know too well, but they seem to be on the team and on the team doing well, and so yeah.
The Dutch have put out good junior teams for as long as I've been around.
Yes,
Well,
this is
probably more than most countries, they take bridge very seriously nationally. Like their national team would have a day every week that they would assemble and do dedicated practice. And I think it was government, sponsored. So,
Yeah,
and I think the juniors probably have a similar level of intensity in their training.
yes, exactly, exactly. So I'm just waiting for one of the tables to go live here. I think we can probably hop in, and at least this way, once they have some names and cards up, we'll be ready to go there. And then I will bounce for a few minutes and leave you all to commentate, and then we'll come back and join in a little while.
Sounds good.
Um, on an off note, do we know what's going on in the other categories for the
Uh,
US teams while we're waiting?
Good question. Let me, I guess, bring that back over here while we're waiting. So as of right now, in the under 21s, USA1 is leading. And so
Okay.
that's Arthur and Nathan Gong, Harrison Luba, and Bohan Zhu, and Olivia Shearson and Michael Shu. So they've had a very
Okay.
good week or few days so far. And USA2 is also in qualifying position.
Excellent.
So
And how are our young ladies doing?
they are not doing so well. They need certainly to pick up the pace if they're going to wind up making the knockout phase. Both teams are struggling a little bit here.
Is this
Okay.
going to be a 4-team knockout or a 8-team knockout?
I think they're all cutting to 8, although I'm not 100% sure about that. To be
Historically,
quite honest.
they've always cut to 8, regardless of how small the.
Since there are only 12 teams, are they doing a double round robin,
I think so.
or is it
but
over?
I think they are doing a double round robin. That would be my
Considering they're already on.
Yeah, they're doing a double round robin. I
They
didn't
must be,
see
since
the.
they've played 12 matches and there are 12 teams, so
Yeah.
they're already into the second half.
Yes.
All right,
exactly.
they just need to pick up a little. Under 31.
Yeah, so the under 31s, the U.S. team is struggling as well a bit. They are in 14th, so they're kind of a similar position to where the USA USA2 team is for under 26, in that they need to have a strong finish. And under 16, our USA1 team is leading by a good margin. So that's Andrew and Charlie Chen, Caden Yi, and Ryan Zhang.
Oh, the
and
kids,
Eric
Geoff and
Yang.
Eric,
Yes.
named after Geoff and Eric.
Yes, exactly.
Probably a different Geoff.
Any of the Geoff and Erics that you choose. I guess depending on how the results swing, maybe he'll change the spelling.
No, yeah. If they start to open up a larger gap, he can change the spelling of his name.
Exactly. And our USA2 team is struggling a bit, but they've come back a little bit. They were a little bit lower before, and so they are actually in striking distance if they again put together a good second half. So,
Yeah, there's quite a bit of track left, but it's definitely time to start advancing.
Yes, exactly. So we are still waiting for cards here. I'm going to guess that we will get cards in about 2 minutes. Seeing as it seems like they've settled on a 15-minute delay a fair amount of the time. So we might start starting like a couple minutes later, so that we can jump into the action sooner. But it's kind of nice to have a look at where people are.
Where were the World Championships that each of you guys played as juniors?
That's a good question.
Usually China.
Uh,
We had Turkey twice, China a few times. We had Croatia a couple of times,
Salsa
and
Maggiore, Italy, Lyon.
Salsa Maggiore, and an off cycle in France and Lyon.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one in Philadelphia.
What did you guys play in, for a year for all of your junior years? It sounds like you played in 10 championships.
Well, one a year starts to add up.
Played in 8.
Yeah, after
8
a
of
while.
them.
Yeah, my first was 2009 in Istanbul, and then my last was I guess Lyon in 2017.
No, we played in China in 2018.
Oh, that's true. We did play it right. China was 2018, so
where we lost
Yeah.
it.
Lyon was my
Yes.
last. The double gold and bounce.
Yes. So it was a strong finish.
Yes.
Much better than coming back next year and blowing a 45 imp lead in the round of 8.
These things happen.
It is still junior bridge.
Exactly. It's hard to escape
I
some
mean,
amount of volatility.
I just played the Europeans. I think we were stuck about 40 imps with 14 boards to play, and we still came back. So,
Nice.
To lose by 5.
things happen. We won by a lot.
Oh, nice.
A lot after being
A
stuck.
lot. I think we won by 50 or something. It was like a 100 imp set.
Wow.
In 14 boards. That's pretty
It
good.
was impressive. They were swingy hands.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay, so I'm hopeful that they will give us boards soon. That would be nice.
Like
You would think. Maybe I should exchange this dog for the other dog.
they're basically the same dog.
Which one is this one and which one is that one?
This one is Anya. She's the younger one, very compliant and loves people. The other one is people adverse sometimes and is hiding under the bed. Her name is Kiva. Oh, we have no. Never mind.
No, I actually
I got so excited.
Yeah, I'm very much hoping that they will give us some boards shortly. I think one of the other matches is live, so hopefully that will prove to be
One of the
useful.
other matches is live. Maybe we should just watch until this one comes on.
Yes, except that since I'm driving, I have to run. I'm gonna need to just leave one up and go. So, um,
There.
there we go. There's a name. Amazing. Hands. Okay.
Great.
Great. So I will leave you all and see you all in a little while. Enjoy.
Okay, great.
Good luck.
Thank
Fun hand to start. 11 cards in the blacks.
That's one hand.
See. We've overcome hurdle number one, which was a junior preempting on the north hand at vulnerable.
Oh, a
Yeah.
precision 2 diamonds. Interesting.
Would have definitely thrown a wrench in there.
Yeah. I'm curious. How do you get to 6 clubs in this auction now?
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a sort of a good example of wanting to play when you have two trump suits, play the slam and the one that lacks the ace.
The
so
ace.
They can't start ace under rough.
Good luck deducing that. Well, I mean,
well,
West should
they
know.
do know that they will find out shortly that they have 9 spades and 10 clubs.
And I mean, West is captain in this auction, so he'll know which suit to play, hopefully.
So I believe that East has now shown a maximum with exactly 3-4-1-5 shape. So the question is, how does West answer the questions? Do you have the ace of hearts, the king of spades, the queen of spades, the ace of clubs, or the king of clubs? There are a lot of heart values that West would find not very helpful. East has not only a maximum, but pretty near perfect maximum for slam. And as Christian pointed out, you probably won't make 6 spades. So you got to be very precise to reach a making slam at this point.
Well, at this point, they've right-sided the spade contract, so it's going to be hard for South to table ace in a club.
Yeah, that's valid. It certainly seems like the West hand is worth at least a slam invitation, but I don't even know how you would find out. Like East won't necessarily know to like their club points better than their heart points if you simply make a slam try in spades now.
I mean, West might just drive and
They
hope for
might.
the best.
I mean, they could do something like bid key card in spades and opposite.
And hope you're not off the ace king of clubs.
Yeah, I mean, they need to catch
Not unreasonable.
2 with the queen.
I mean, if they can key card in spades, then they're safe to sign off also at the 5 level. And if they can key card in spades and bid 6 clubs.
Well, the interesting thing, if they I don't know if they play regular key card. It looks like he's using 4 clubs as a slam try. And he's just going to bid 4 spades, which, I mean, I could see East liking.
But he's already shown a max, no?
He has, but he has the king and queen of spades. So
that's good.
West
is
making a slam try in his 3-card suit, and he has
he has a 5 spade response to key card, which can't be bad, really.
I think it's a close decision for the East hand. The Jack of Hearts is the only card in your hand that you know is probably not good. So this in a precision style, the four club language, I think this was invented by Rodwell decades ago.
The mulberry situation they have going on here.
Exactly. When he invented it, he called it four club, four diamond RKC, which the language is that four clubs is a puppet to four diamonds to make a natural slam try. Four diamonds by the West hand would have been a quote end signal, a puppet to four hearts to place the contract. East did not appear to give it a lot of thought, so this will just be a safe four spades in the East.
I mean, East probably just thought they'd already done their work by showing.
And they're not wrong. I mean, as it is, the slam is average.
Yeah.
I wondered if West had chosen to go with key card in spades, I wonder how they would have had to do that. It would have been four hearts would be club key card, four spades would be heart key card, and four no would be spade key card.
So I mean, he really could tolerate all of the responses.
Only insofar as getting to five.
Yeah.
Like if he bid four no, if they played 1430, then say a one response, which would be too few, you could pass. Five clubs would rate to be a very safe contract.
Yeah. I mean, did West think that they didn't have 5-level security? I mean, definitely, I feel like when you know you have two big fits, it's on you to bid more when your partner shows a max to start. But it is hard to know how to progress.
Yeah, I mean, here we caught an East hand with 5 points in hearts that were not wasted.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that we caught the same clubs and the ace, king, jack of hearts and the queen of spades. That's a maximum.
Yeah.
And that would be quite probably a finesse for 5.
So then, in that case, if these are the problems we have, when you have a fitting minimum max, are you supposed to bid more? I mean, he didn't even think about it, but maybe you are.
I think, you know, one of the problems I think is that East was right on the border. Like I would say 13 is the middle of the range, assuming 11 to 15 is the range. And it's not a particularly nice 13. It's an okay 13. So I think if East had chosen to go a little lower and show a minimum, and then show their 3 spades, and then see a slam try by West, now they'd feel much more comfortable doing more. But again, a lot of it came down to how perfectly the hands fit. They had literally one wasted high card point, and slam and spades is just so. Slam and clubs is really good.
And actually, the other table, if they play a natural system, will play spades from the other side. So if they do happen to land in 6 spades instead of 6 clubs, they might win on the board.
They might, although they also could, if they play a natural-ish system, 1 club, 1 spade, 2 spades.
Well, the Netherlands won 13, so I guess there was a slam swing not in our kids' favor.
Yeah, and it would have had to have been spades for it to be 13. So it was 6 spades, and I'm going to guess it was played by East, since you wouldn't, maybe they play a transfers over 1 club system, or maybe a strong club.
Yeah, maybe transfers over a club, because they had to have right-sided it. It would be weird for North not to have led a stiff club.
It seems like North would always be leading their singleton with 2 trumps. All right, so first blood to the Netherlands, a hand that could have generated a 13-imp gain or loss.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting hand for the beginning.
Do you agree with two clubs, three clubs, bearing the hearts? I mean, if you're going to bid again, should you chance like 2-0?
So the bidding went one spade, two clubs, pass, two spades.
Um, we can't click on it.
I think that's how it started. So I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't show the hearts since when your partner doesn't act over two clubs, playing in hearts looks like it's quite dangerous. You might not benefit from the clubs.
But I mean, you know that your partner probably has some points because they didn't make a takeout double of two clubs. And you know West doesn't have a trap pass of clubs.
It turns out that West actually did have, I wouldn't call it a trap pass,
Not a pure trap pass. Yeah.
but
I'm not
they had a hand that had no direct bid because of their club length.
right.
Well, actually, I think East West have sort of done reasonably well to reach four spades. Now they have to find a way to make it. It's not,
Definitely not clear.
yeah, it is not trivial.
And that is not going to go well.
Yeah, I think they needed to do something kind of counterintuitive, which was play a spade to the ace and then the queen of spades, which would have left North under pressure later in the hand.
Yeah.
Now, I think that North does need to give his partner the rough right here, but it doesn't feel like he could really be thinking of doing anything else.
Yeah. I think maybe he was just thinking like, should I signal for hearts or not? But seems normal too.
So it was well executed to reach four spades, and
It's just
I'm
gonna
going to
go
say
down.
not the luckiest lie of the cards that will defeat it. There are times when, after one spade, two clubs pass, you might consider just bidding with the North hand. Your hand is borderline on strength, and you might make 3-0 on some hands where two clubs isn't so wonderful.
Like bidding, what would you bid? Two
I would bid two diamonds
diamonds?
if I was bidding, but I think I like pass best. But like if you were to bid two diamonds and hear two hearts, you'd kind of feel like, "Oh, I'm kind of glad I bid."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, knowing my two club overcalls, I would just pass, hoping nothing bad happens.
Yeah, and that's not a bad way to like I think if I passed two clubs and it went double pass, I'd probably be running. So I guess I probably shouldn't be rushing to
To
bid
bid.
directly. Yeah.
Or maybe if you really wanted a diamond made, like if you had four low hearts or something, king, queen of diamonds.
Yeah, if you move the king of the hearts into the well, if you move the king of spades into diamonds, you'd certainly be.
Then for sure.
If you move the king of hearts into diamonds, you'd be on the verge. Hey, you.
So I missed the first board. They got to four spades. The other table got to six clubs.
Well, they won 13, so it had to be spades. And we're
Oh,
thinking that they managed to get East to play it
hold on. I will look.
because it
Yeah.
seems weird that um, North would not lead their singleton.
Let's see what happened.
From the imp total, it must have been spades and not clubs. Six clubs would have been a 12 imp margin.
Yeah, it looks like they opened a balanced or natural club with the East hand. They
And it went
overcalled.
transfers.
It went a diamond, and then West did two hearts, transferring to spades.
And
And North
that
did five
was a
diamonds.
wrap.
Yeah, and then South did not find the ace of clubs in a club.
So East, it went five diamonds. Did East bid five spades on the king, queen, third?
East passed, West balanced, doubled, and then East bid five
Five
spades
spades and got raised.
and got raised.
Well,
West
that's,
actually did six clubs on the way. Um,
yeah, which would have been the safe contract, actually.
Yeah.
But I suppose in the face of a partner who has a six card spade suit, king third feels like a trump suit.
Also, are they necessarily 100% sure that six clubs is an offer to play? Probably should be, right? Maybe six spades just felt like, okay, nothing bad's gonna happen. No one knows we have a club fit except me.
Yeah, that probably was. It might not have been clearly understood. Huh, East, four spades went down two?
Well, they played Ace of Hearts, Heart, playing for the King of Hearts on side for down one that way.
Oh, I see, because they had a diamond loser
Yeah,
after the rough.
exactly.
They did saw them off in two clubs at the other table on that board, by the way.
I don't actually, I like the reopening double with, you have very good defensive holdings outside of spades.
And bad spades. Like there's
Yeah.
no reason to commit to spades.
Well, so another double swing generated one by they got 100 off of two clubs doubled, but East West were in a albeit tricky but makeable four spades.
I mean, I'm sure they just thought I'll take a finesse and see what happens. It was a mistake though.
I was going to ask if you thought North would bid four clubs here, red white at Imps.
Well, he did it.
He did.
The answer is yes. And they're going to chalk up 130.
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Granted, it's not quite like
I mean, now they can take 150, right?
now they can take 150.
Jack third of hearts is coming down for a spade pitch.
Sure.
So they pitched two spades now, right?
Or two diamonds.
I mean,
Whatever.
I think that this wasn't it always 150?
Yes, it was always 150.
All right.
On the
Because
friendly
they have the
heartland.
ace.
Because they can still pitch two diamonds.
I was
Yep.
thinking that. So let's look at the north hand. It went pass, one club, one spade. Negative double, two spades.
Yes.
Looks like a pretty normal pass. Pass, three clubs, pass. Now this hand has become very good. I mean, I would consider, like, I wouldn't want to have to get pushed into five clubs. If my partner had, five trumps and a stiff, I don't know that they would know to do more. I feel like I would bid four clubs here. I don't know whether partner, I mean, now the South hand might be thinking, holy cow, I've got two aces and five trumps, and bid five clubs with what is actually not the right hand. But you don't have to change it much so it is the right hand, like move the jack of diamonds into the heart suit.
Into the heart suit.
And that's
Now
just
it's great.
11 top winners. Or give South a stiff club, and that now they don't even need, one of their aces could conceivably be gone.
I mean, even 13 tricks is probably not what was claimed. Even on this hand, South does not have the right hand for you. You're
Yeah.
still taking 11.
Yeah, they have the wrong hand, and game is not that bad.
I suspect that'll eventually get corrected to 150.
Let's see if East West have the technology to find their wonderful part score in clubs.
I'm going to
Yes,
test
no.
against it once they open a no trump.
Well, the bidding is not going to end there.
No, I was curious. I wonder if North South are playing the Woolsey style double here.
I would guess that East takes no calls if North bids.
That's a fairly safe assumption.
Yeah, I guess the method's available. Oh, I spoke too soon. Maybe North South don't have a method for showing a hand like this. I don't think I could bear to pass
Would you
not call
guess?
against Vol.
If your options were to pass or bid three diamonds, you would bid three diamonds.
I mean, honestly, if my options were to pass or bid three diamonds, I assume I have a bid that shows the majors. I'd probably just choose that.
Bid two clubs, partner bids two diamonds, check it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I picked this as my major partner.
Is that legal when you only have three hearts and it's an artificial way to show the majors?
Yeah, seems fine.
I don't know. I mean, I think I've definitely done it. I hope it's.
I think three is considered like quasi natural or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it on like 3-3-3-4 hands.
Fair enough. Looks like the majors. Could be the majors. You were gonna pass two hearts and show your oats, so
Yeah, I mean, this is not the worst playing hand for
a 3-3 fit.
Yeah, you might scramble up like 6 or 7 tricks when they were making something.
yeah, if they innocently lead the ace of clubs from ace king, now you can finagle a lot of tricks probably.
And actually, I mean, honestly, if you were to go like, let's say it went a no trump and you bid 2 clubs majors and it went pass and your partner bid 4 hearts, how bad would you feel?
Not really, actually.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Probably partner has 5 hearts.
This might be a silly contract, but it might be a real burn.
Yeah. That would be pretty sick if that happened. I would be sick if that happened to me at the table. They stumbled into
Happened to you or against you? Like if you did this, you would probably not.
No. If this happened against me and 4 hearts was just like because I think obviously Jeff's right. 4 hearts is if partner bids 4 hearts, it probably
I would be looking for a judge for redress because it would feel really dirty.
It would feel really bad though.
This was an interesting start by Brent leading the 9 of clubs, which is sort of like a entry untangling start to the club suit.
Sort of.
Yeah, and it was sort of good form in that I'm sure he was thinking I might want to have multiple entries to the dummy. So let's lead the 9, planning to finesse clubs later, and keep the 6 of clubs as a late entry to the 7. I'd say this is showing to me, a very impressive level of technique.
Entry management.
Yeah. North also playing a 9 thwarts a lot of the maybe the finessing he was planning on doing, but
yeah, that is a little squealy, isn't it?
It's
more than a little.
It's pretty squealy. Is that enough to take a heart finesse here instead of a club finesse?
Instead of a club finesse? Sounds like it.
Richard thinks so, or sorry, Brent thinks so. He's right.
I was thinking about even with the sort of exposing of the heart layout, I still think the club finesse might have been the better option. But it looks like he's going to just essentially force an entry to dummy or build his 7th winner in diamonds.
Yeah, I think he's just going to play the jack of diamonds here, right? And just wait. Assume that they can't cash a million spades in his face.
Well, he's pretty safe, right? Unless they have 6 spades to take, he's
right, exactly.
He's gonna
give up 5.
7 winners. So 4 clubs, 150 was flat.
They actually had the same auction through 3 clubs. That just ended the auction at this table.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I definitely would feel like I was under repped.
Bidding. I mean, three love spades feels really good on the hand you had.
It does. Like if the opponents, like if it went like three clubs and three spades by the opponents, you would feel like I wish I had a game try available at this point.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just like sort of a blinder on a lot of people where their partner made a non-forcing bid and you have some balanced 13 count. You don't really think a lot
Right.
about
I mean,
what kind of hands they have.
your partner competed, so you just let things lie, except that
You have a good hand.
yeah, you were pushable to four clubs and you hadn't really expressed the full strength of your hand. I suppose if you pass three clubs and they bid three spades and your partner bids four clubs now, you'd probably go five. So maybe that was the thinking.
And
They took a lot of tricks.
yeah, he exited a spade in South one and played a diamond. North ducked this, so he had the wherewithal now to obviously overtake
and
hook the club.
Well, once North had shed a spade, they no longer had their five sure winners.
Yeah, I think they were in trouble, regardless of. Nine tricks seemed like one too many, still. Right, 4, 5, 6.
I mean,
oh, it's 9.
Once they pitched a spade, they had 9.
Yeah.
They had four hearts, three clubs, and if they get the second diamond, right?
Yeah, they took 2 diamonds on this hand.
They could have stopped that, I guess, by cashing their three spades and exiting the 10 of clubs once the ace of diamonds was cashed.
Yeah, they could have stopped it, but I don't think that anyone's losing sleep over their 150 versus 120 on this hand.
Right. The defense to hold it to 90 was not trivial. All right, we have a mini no trump to begin things here. Let's see if Richard thinks that this hand is worth showing the majors. Nope.
Do you agree?
Against a weak no trump, I sort of agree.
I agree. I think that this is a pretty bad hand and your partner's not going to know that you're joking. I would certainly overcall a spade if they opened a minor, but yeah. I don't think I could show something over a weak no trump and expect it to be this weak.
Would you bid over a strong no trump with these hand show majors?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I think West also has an interesting hand here in the balancing seat with like 7 good diamonds and king and a spade over a weak no trump pass to you.
I don't think they have any other bid but 3 diamonds.
I mean, it wouldn't be madness to just let it go.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But you're not going to get a diamond lead.
You aren't, but the lead is, there's a pretty good chance that you will gain the lead before they've taken 7 tricks. The problem is, I don't know that you'll ever be able to convey to your partner to switch to their stiff and dummies queen third suit or something or 3 little suit.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it could be right, but your partner probably won't read the situation correctly anyway.
So East is now wondering how good is this 3 diamond bid? And deciding to bid.
And that will get them to, I assume that this will land them in a negative spot.
I mean, West might just pass.
They might.
Their partner didn't double or bid 2 spades. He might just check it.
Well,
he didn't really have like a super good 3 diamond bid anyway.
I don't know how many options he had to show diamonds over 1 no trump pass in this circumstance, which is half of the problem.
Right.
Of bidding 3 diamonds. It's very wide ranging. I would assume that they've played 2 diamonds as some kind of one major situation.
They certainly play. I'm sure they would play it as a conventional bid, but I don't know whether they have any.
This is going to get lit up real fast.
Yeah, I can't imagine an Oscar passes this one.
This is like one of the dangers that they probably don't come across very often when you face like a mini no trump in the balance. You can't assume your partner has a good hand because they just pass all the 10 to 12 range hands as south.
I mean, I sort of feel like I don't know what the language of 3 diamonds was, it probably was a wide range bid. But I think that even if your partner's on the high end of his 3 diamond bids, it has to be less than a double in bid diamonds strength. And if that's the case, the East hand is not the right stuff for
To bid
making
with.
the game. I mean, maybe 3 diamonds showed playability elsewhere. I don't know. If that was the case, then thinking that you belong in spades isn't crazy.
I think Oscar sort of backed himself into a bit of a problem here.
I mean, I feel like he should have doubled this once he doubled 3-0.
I think you just kind of
He does have 2 aces and some
two aces.
spare change.
I gotta say, I'd think it's kind of suicidal. I mean, why do you have to lose a game swing just because, you chase them out of 3-0? I mean, you're not that far from this contract making, right?
I mean, I think he's just reading. I think he's just reading into they didn't double in the balance or at the East. I think he's just taking like a gamble.
I agree, but if West was like 2-3-7-1 instead of what they have, then it would be awfully close as to whether or not we beat this.
Yeah.
And it did go, you doubled 3-0 and it went 4 diamonds and your partner chose not to double this. It's not like they have no clue that you wanted to double them.
I
So
wonder if they're reading into East's hesitation before 3-0 as well. Thinking.
I mean, I think their double of
Probably.
3-0 is solid.
No, double. Yeah, I think double of 3-0 is odd. I'm curious if they've just decided that because East took so long to bid 3-0 that they're just going to go down.
Yeah. Well, they're right. They have squeezed an extra 50 out of this.
Yeah, I don't think you're obviously not doubling for the
Not
one.
gonna beat it.
I mean, it could have been more of a plus, but I think that most of the hands where you really want to be hammering 4 diamonds, North was there for you.
Yeah, you might be right. It might just maybe when North doesn't double, you're just never beating this 3 and probably not rating to beat it 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
You might still have 2 down as it was. This contract was on a heart finesse for down 2, which, I guess the major suit kings could have been reversed, and then you'd have 2 down until you led the ace of hearts. North had a legitimate lead problem, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm not so sure they're supposed to do anything other than lead a trump.
Yeah, but Queen and 1 just feels. That's a card you score some of the time when you don't lead it.
Queen and 1 is like tough. It's tough to fire Queen and 1.
So I was thinking about whether Brent was supposed to keep the King of Spades and leave some ambiguity as to the location of it.
Yeah, but the 8 of Spades is weird.
I guess they're probably like a second, fourth pair or something.
But I just mean like the 8 of Spades would be weird holding the king.
Yeah, they'd just lead 4th best if they're 2nd, 4th.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And like West doesn't have spade support, right? Because they didn't ever raise spades, probably.
Right. Just there's a difference between seeing a card and expecting a card,
Yeah, for sure.
And with the Heart King still in the dummy, like we know we're going to play our diamonds from the top. If we tell them we have the King of Spades, what can they really do except play clubs? I mean, I guess they could play their partner for stiff ace of hearts. That doesn't seem like a very likely scenario. It's hard to imagine that they wouldn't lead the ace of clubs at this point. But if they lead the trump, that will be an overtrick.
I mean, is North really supposed to just play a spade looking at Queen Jack 9 5th? King like Queen Jack 10 5th? Was it ever necessary?
Maybe
it seems like they put themselves in a pressure cooker unnecessarily.
They're playing south to have better diamonds, right?
I mean, it's hard to imagine that better diamonds is even possible. Like it feels like. Plus, I mean, it looks like trick 1 was an encouraging signal in hearts. Maybe he was thinking if his partner had the ace king of spades, Well, I can't even think of how that was necessary because South couldn't have 5 hearts, but they've gotten the defense right.
Yeah,
But just thinking of it from a stress standpoint, I'm South, and in an effort to gain an extra 50 by punishing my opponents, I have risked going minus 610 in 4 diamonds doubled.
Yeah,
You
I
it
mean,
just
he's not a happy camper if that in this case.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer not to have to be risking a game swing to get an extra 50. Not the kind of value you like.
Oh, we won 6 imps.
All right.
They probably bid something with the 6-4.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, can't really hook this, can you?
It would be very hard.
I mean, the cards, you just can't. You can't.
I mean, why would he needs it also for the one no bid, no?
No, he could still have the Queen of Hearts, right? He could have Ace Queen Jack of Hearts.
But it seems random to open a weak no trump with a stiff small. Like that's weird.
I'm not saying you're right or wrong. Actually, I'm saying you're right. Obviously, it's weird to open a no trump with a small stiff.
I know it's weird for you to tell me I'm right. I get it.
In worth saying that in this event, I think they are allowed to open a no trump on a small singleton, just in case you're watching.
A mini no trump?
Are you not?
I'm not sure. There are different rules for 10 to 12. Like you definitely can never have 9, and there are some other rules for it too.
Those are ACBL rules, though. This is WBF. I think you are allowed to upgrade 9s into a WBF 10 to 12 no trump. And I think you're allowed to.
Until relatively recently, 9 was allowed to be part of the weak no trump range. Meckwell played the 9 to 12 no trump in world events for decades.
They killed it in the ACBL.
Yeah.
The 9.1 no, but I think you're still fine in WBF.
Is the match over?
No, they're taking a bathroom break. That was, to Geoff's point, it was a very stressful hand for the. He did to go take a break after that one.
Got to go change their boxers.
And also to your point, they opened 2 diamonds on the previous hand, Geoff, at the other table, the one that was 1 no, and bought it there for plus 90, which is where the plus 6 came from.
Ah, okay.
On the ace 4 3 low ace 6.
They opened 2 diamonds with this?
They opened 2 diamonds, and it was they overcalled 2 diamonds. It went one.
That makes way more sense.
They overcalled 2 diamonds, and it was alerted. So maybe they're playing some version of Meckwell, where 2 diamonds is diamonds in a major.
That seems strange as well, since the South hand is playable in both majors and has only 2 diamonds.
I'm not sure what else you would overcall 2 diamonds with and alert it with this hand.
I wonder if it's diamonds in a 4-card major, could be.
Could be.
It's probably Capoletti and they just forgot.
Yeah. 2 diamonds majors, and both pairs forgot. Easy. By the way, did you see that double did get them an extra imp on board 17?
Yeah, turned their 3 into 4.
Whole extra imp.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This also seems a little exciting, maybe.
A lot of these hands have been kind of like a lot.
Kind of a lot? I think you need to commit to a lot or a little.
A lot of these hands have been a lot.
More or less.
More or less, though. Thank you.
So let's see. This is a good hand for East-West not to get too high.
Well, the golden rule of don't bid a lot unless you have a fit doesn't apply. They have one.
They have a fit, but East won't necessarily know that they have such a wonderful fit.
I mean, West is probably just going to rebid two spades over one no trump, right?
You know, I don't know. It's from a strength standpoint, you have seven spades and they're playing a club system, and this is definitely a maximum in that context. So
Yeah, but they're favorable and partners a passed hand, and you have
that
stiff
does factor
king
in,
and
but three spades would not be the worst bid I've ever seen. Good job.
Yeah, it's just your hand's
I
just.
mean, favorable playing a strong club. You know a lot about the hand already.
Yes, although I mean, honestly, if you move the king of diamonds, if you gave me ace queen 10 7, king queen third stiff, and king 10 doubleton, I would be at least bidding three spades with the West hand. But
Yeah.
I think Brent judged well because this hand is so scattered and potentially a lot of his values might be very poor.
And he's he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Although you might mess around and make four spades here. Seems tough.
Well, I mean, a lot hinges on the next play. It goes a heart to the 10. If they play the jack, no, you still have too much to do.
It just feels like you with king nine fourth of spades, it just doesn't feel like you can really get there, right?
Well, and the blockage in clubs, if the 9 and 10 of clubs are reversed,
Right.
it could make a fatal error here by playing the jack of hearts. The 8 of hearts should make it pretty clear that that's not a good choice. So the defense has gone smoothly to minimize declarer's winners. Now declarer has to avoid, a mistake in the trump suit. His trump play has to be to the queen rather than, well, I guess it can be to the queen or just low around, and he'll avoid extra trump losers. Like the 7 to the 10. No, that doesn't even matter either, I guess. The king and 9, that's 3 trumps. So it's hard for them to lose more than a total of 5 tricks.
It does seem difficult. It honestly looks difficult to lose more than 4. There's like, what reasoning do you have behind which spade you play here?
I mean, with better spots, the queen would be routine. Like if we had the 9 of spades, then you would play to the queen because singleton jack is an extra trick for the offense, and singleton king doesn't matter. But without the 9 of spades, I don't know that there's a compelling reason to do anything. But this looks like it's going to be 9 winners. Also, a aggressive 4 spade or possibly 3 no trump contract was well avoided here. Honestly, it's not, the game would not be without play. If you can bring in spades for one loser, you rate to be able to make a game, and it's not that unlikely. So
Yeah, no, I was thinking like even, I mean, you actually still have some work to do.
I mean,
right?
on this hand, if he had rebid three spades over one no trump, playing is East supposed to pass without a spade fit? And it doesn't matter if they have 9 in precision contacts, because with a good 15 or whatever, they would have opened a strong club.
yeah, I think in this context, East is supposed to pass, but in a more natural style, you would surely bid 3 no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could take full advantage of playing precision, I guess, by
Yeah. Well,
catering to getting to game opposite of like 2 spades in some hands.
Yeah, that might have made the guessing of the play more key. Well, this is an interesting rotation of the bidding. We've got South opening 2 hearts on East's week 2 heart opener.
MF.
Probably NF.
Probably NF would make more sense. They're on tablets, right? For the bidding.
Mhm. No, MF, major force.
Major forcing. I don't know. My Dutch is a little rusty, so I
I
don't
think it's
know.
mostly forcing.
Mostly.
East is looking at Ace King Jack 6 of hearts on this auction.
Yeah.
Shrug, what can you do?
What can you do?
Those hands, I mean, what would you lead or what would you do? I think pass is normal with these cards
No, I think you
after
have to
this off.
I can't really think of what else I would do.
The only question is
You could convince me to bid if I had another spade and another diamond.
yeah, but then you would have 2 fewer hearts and not 6 cards in the week 2 that they opened.
I mean,
You could have 2 fewer clubs.
Sure.
I mean, you could wind up needing to be in the bidding, but most of that time your partner is coming back for you.
Yeah.
Certainly with 3 clubs. If partner decides to sell out to 3 clubs, this is
Fine.
This is fine.
So this feels like, what do you think? Spade, spade?
Yeah. I mean, what is East supposed to do?
I think I would pitch a discouraging diamond, but I might pitch an encouraging heart.
We decided on the discouraging diamond.
All right, so Trump probably from West.
Oh,
You would
maybe
have
not.
you would have to think so, right? Like you don't really.
Well, I'm sure West is wondering, where are the ace and king of hearts at this point?
Right.
Like, it feels like North and East would each have one. But the fact that North didn't play a heart makes it look like he doesn't have.
He could have stiff ace.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the other thing is like Trump doesn't really rate to beat the contract, does it?
I mean, you have diamonds locked up. You can stop one of Dummy's
But you
spades.
know the North South have the Ace King of Diamonds and they don't have a heart to.
Can you fully read the 6 of diamonds?
Well, you know that North has 6 clubs and 4 spades. Or they're insane.
Yeah, but they could have 2 hearts and a stiff diamond, but the 6 of diamonds is a weird play.
Yeah.
I think the 6 of diamonds is, assuming it's upside down, is a readable discourage in diamonds.
Yeah, I think you're
So
right.
now, if you know that their shape is 6-4-2-1, then a trump is not going to beat the contract. Because they don't have a diamond wizard.
But I think that for what it's worth, and this is maybe a bit of a controversial opinion, I think people worry too much about I think people hemorrhage imps trying to beat the contract sometimes by allowing over tricks that they would not otherwise allow. And
yeah, I mean, defending to take your maximum number of tricks on the lie of the cards is a smart strategy, and hopefully that beats contracts that can be beaten. Right. Like, Richard doesn't know that Brent, well, he knows from the tempo that Brent surely has the queen or the king of clubs or the ace of clubs. So he can tell that this is just not going to work as far as beating it unless his partner has the king of diamonds.
Well, I mean, if he played ace of hearts, low heart to the king of clubs, that would give him the jack.
Right, although the jack of clubs is essentially going to score as a ruff.
Hmm.
They're going to get a different 4 tricks than they might have gotten on a different sequence of plays. Feels like doesn't North just lead a spade at this point? And
it's yeah, what else are you going to do? It's going to force one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Well, what happens if he just plays all his trump?
Well, he wouldn't. At this point, he's cold, I think. If he leads... no, he's not cold. If he leads a spade and that gets ruffed, and a heart was led over, then a spade could promote a trump, but that would also require that East didn't win
Duck,
the clubs.
yeah.
But you're also just down, right? If that's the case as well, because they're gonna get your alternative is to cash a high club,
which won't split the trumps, right? Yeah, so this was just the safe play for 9 tricks on the hands where you had 9. Well, so well navigated by north-south to get to a plus score after starting with a preempt in their 5-1 fit.
Just now open chat, which I unfortunately didn't have open for a bit, but they did say that USA2 did win like a 20 imp ruling against Turkey in their previous match, so probably swinging up a little bit more from where we had seen them when we started the.
Oh wow, okay, that's important.
So let's check where they are in the standings.
Let's see.
It's up somewhere. Here it is. See if this is updated. So they were at like
they were just below average up until
and now they're at 140.
Yeah, 140.
That's after
18 out of first. But
that's including this match. So maybe it's not updated yet. Let's see. Chat, are these scores? Does anyone know if the scores are updated to reflect the ruling of the last that Roger was talking about? I don't think that they are. Yeah, not updated yet. So it sounds like based on what their score their last match was, that's probably going to swing a few more VPs, make it a little bit more of a manageable climb towards the top 8.
If it's a 20 imp swing, that basically makes the match a draw and gives USA2 about 5.5 more victory points,
which brings them 14
and takes 5 away from Turkey.
And I mean, this match is
Turkey also currently in 10th, so also big for the opponent.
Well, Turkey after their match with USA2 was in 7th.
Sorry, I'm looking at the running totals. They are currently losing 33-5 to Sweden.
Well, this is a set where there are a lot of imps, a lot of imps in play, based at board 1, whether you reach slam and make it or fail. Board 2, whether you reach game and make it or fail. There were some legit swings in here. Those, I guess, were the 2 biggest. Actually, even board 3 was a possible game swing, despite having 2 balanced hands and not that many points.
Yeah. Looks like they're just going to bid 3-0 on this one. With North. Oh. What's the range on 2-0?
Give me 1 second. This is on it was a lead on a grand where they had misinformation. Brutal.
That's a big one.
That's a pretty big one. 2-0 was alerted with a period. Presumably this is like 22-24. Right? That looks like what's in it.
If it was 22-24, I feel like South should bid more with 5-4-2-2.
22.
Opposite of quantitative.
Ace Queen Doubleton is a very disappointing high card holding.
Sure, but
poor use
5 good hearts seems like maybe 6 hearts might have chances.
Actually, I mean, slam opposite the north hand wouldn't be bad if you could just add something like, say, the 9 of hearts.
Yeah, I mean, this is... As it is, I think slam is making.
King Doubleton of hearts on side, you'd have to...
Yep. Well, I mean, if the king was offside, now you need the club finesse, I guess.
Yeah, you would probably...
Except you don't have those entries to dummy.
Well, let's say that if you got a diamond lead, you'd probably win and take a club finesse. Would you do that? Maybe you couldn't afford to. You'd win,
Like a club finesse.
Cash a couple spades, go to the. No, I mean, you really have blockage here.
Yeah,
You
it's kind
basically have to decide which finesse is working.
of
The queen of
I
clubs
mean,
playing and the king of diamonds,
you
king of
you
hearts on side, or
they
I
might
don't
they might even try and take a diamond finesse.
it's
Like,
actually interesting. I think
couldn't you like unblock the spades, take a diamond finesse, and
yeah, but that assumes a lot of things have gone right because you still have to knock out the heart at some point. It looks like
yeah.
out of curiosity, the Jack of Diamonds at trick one. How do we feel about that? Are you supposed to play this Jack?
Are you supposed to play low?
Yeah, are you supposed to play the Jack? Or are you supposed to play low?
I mean, I think on the four of diamonds lead, you'd probably play the jack just because you don't want to tell them. First of all, that's an extra entry to the dummy, which you might not want to give them. Although you don't know what finesses they'd be taking. It could be that they'd be taking losing club finesses. It looks like with the north-south cards, the most likely lead you're going to get is spades.
Right.
And on a spade lead, I don't know how you would play it. Cash 2 rounds of spades. I mean, you could put it all on the heart finesse and
I
just.
think you have to, right? Like that looks best to me because the club finesse doesn't necessarily even get you what you need. And
Well, if the club finesse wins, like you could also put it all on the club finesse, right? You just sell the heart.
you could put it all on the club finesse, but you have to, and then you just sell the heart. Yeah.
Yeah, you just draw the trump and just take a club finesse. I
So
think.
so probably what you're supposed to do then on a spade lead is just cash 2 clubs, right? And then once that doesn't, I guess you still have to knock out the queen of clubs. So that's not good enough
Yeah,
either.
especially since there's like an overruff with 3 low in the dummy.
I'm
I
not
mean,
worried about an overruff. I'm still thinking about 6 now.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
thinking no trump as well, but it's not so clear how you maximize your options.
No,
But
I
this
was
is
thinking you might cash 2 clubs, but you actually still have to knock out the queen of clubs, even if that doesn't work. But
right.
I
I
think
mean,
that's fine. I think on the spade lead, you just win and cash 2 clubs and bang down a third club, right? Because you pick up queen doubletons and clubs. And then you can, if that doesn't happen, you can still knock out the club and take 2 heart finesses. So you can play for king third or king doubleton of hearts on side, as well as any queen doubleton of clubs.
right. I was thinking that if you guessed wrong and played on hearts right away, you still could divine to make the hand by squeezing West in clubs and diamonds, but I don't know how obvious that will become. It might become obvious when you discover that East has 6 spades. So if you time your entries just so to run your hearts, cash your spades, cash your diamonds ending in the dummy, and come down to the 10 of diamonds and Jack X of clubs, opposite the ace, king, 10 of clubs, something like that.
Yeah.
You'll know that right hand opponent had 6 spades, 2 hearts.
Yeah, I think it might become a little bit more clear on this hand, but maybe not on obviously some of
Yeah.
the alternatives where West isn't pitching.
Well, it appears that it was not a swing. So game was reached and settled in at the other table. So this is interesting. So it's gone past a heart by a hand that by most standards is pretty shabby. Pass a no trump, pass 2 clubs, and now the West hand, which was seriously over strength for a gentle 1 no trump response, is even more over strength now and has to find a way not to overcommit
get too
this.
high.
The other thing is that North South have been robbed
Silent.
here.
I mean, West's probably gonna get some 2 spade variety, right?
It feels like West is, if they play that 2 spades is a strong bid in clubs, West is surely worth that. East will try and make their most discouraging bid, and now if West doesn't find a pass, they'll probably go minus. If West does find a pass, they may go plus when the opponents have game in spades.
So I had this auction come up the other day. I'm curious what you guys think this means in standard. Same auction over 2 clubs. What do you think 4 clubs is?
2 clubs, 4 clubs?
Yeah.
I would have said like probably 6 card support and a distributional hand that's not suitable for 3-0.
Okay.
And what's 3 spades? I mean, North is going to double 2 spades. South might bid.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel like South has a bid.
I mean, he might not bid directly, but if it goes like, if it's,
he's the right to like his hand.
Yeah,
like now if his partner has a stiff club or something, like he might just bid 3 spades.
Yeah, that would not be madness.
Oh, now he even has more of a chance because if it goes 2 clubs, 3 clubs pass, you can balance.
Wait. But what is 2 now?
I'm going to guess that 2 spades requires 2 no. So.
Okay.
Oh, now they don't have a chance to bid spades. Okay.
So this could be a gain or a loss conceivably.
1, 2.
I mean, it's really hard to get spades into the picture here.
Well, in order to make game in spades, you need 3 heart winners from the north-south hands, which is not surprising given the bid.
You also have to pick up this spade suit with
Queen. You have to guess the spades, and you can afford to. I
don't think you'll misguess the spades when you know West has. I mean, you might play him for honor third, I guess, but.
Well, the tricky thing is that you might be in the dummy. You might be in the dummy too soon to be able.
Right, you're just gonna be. You have to cash the spades, I think.
If it goes club to the ace, if the spades were 3-1, they could simply switch to a heart.
Yes. So.
All right, so let's see if this could be a converted pickup for East-West on the US. I mean, it's not trivial for North-South with, 9 opposite 8 to climb to 4 spades.
No.
It's not easy to get to any spade contract.
No, buying it in spades will get the job done for a pickup.
It's tough, right? If North is like, if the best North can do is double 2 spades, South just like really doesn't feel like they have the right hand.
I also feel like both tables are going to open a heart, and the other table might just game force, and you'll win imps that way.
Well, I mean,
North-South.
It wouldn't be madness for North to bid spades at some point.
If it went 1 heart past 2 clubs.
Well, then you could conceivably double.
Yeah. Although red white
scarier
is like
with 3 low hearts.
Forcing auction is like scary.
It is
scary, but
you might bid. You can maybe bid 2 spades after you've passed. It goes a heart past an outcome, right? Like
I feel like 2 spades might be better than double. Maybe, but it's both. I would pass. I'll be honest.
Some styles would have this hand opening 1 spade or opening 2 spades. These colors don't necessarily accommodate that style.
Yes.
No, I have plenty of partnerships where it's
2 spades, spade to the minor.
There you go. A lot of Polish guys would be opening this hand 2 spades.
Let's see here. What are they doing at this table? This table's also in 4 clubs and same spade heart.
What was the auction to 4 clubs? Did they have a chance to get spades in?
They did get spades in. They actually passed the East hand. You're wrong.
They passed the East hand?
It's a pretty shabby hand.
But you're favorable.
It's Queen Jack tied of spades. I don't hate it for what it's worth.
As you see, you just steal.
Hearts are pretty good. Well, so it went 3 passes to a diamond.
1 spade overcall?
1 spade overcall, 2 clubs. Presumably they switch clubs and hearts here, so this is like their heart's hand.
Cupid? No.
3 diamonds mixed. Again, presumably, because these aren't actually alerted, but 3 diamonds by South mixed.
Well, that's a logical seeming auction.
Yeah.
Pass 3 spades, double, pass 4 clubs. What you
That's
think?
all fair enough. I mean, bidding game seems just
Which
impossible.
hand do you want to bid game with? The nine
Neither. None
count,
of them. None of them.
the 9 count, or the like semi-balanced 8 count?
Yeah, the hands just fit really well, and the cards lay well. A stiff opposite 3 little is always a good start. So what have we climbed to here?
All the way up
No
to
Trump.
Trump.
Interesting, they have avoided a pair over
heart lead.
heart contract.
Yeah. What was this auction?
Probably one no.
No, it was a diamond, a heart, 2 hearts, 3 no, presumably choice of games, and
I
East.
see. And
I
East
think
was like, okay, good here.
said, if you don't want to play in 4 hearts, neither do I. So taking the immediate club into hand to presumably play a spade.
Play spade.
That seems like a pretty normal looking start.
That's not going to work. Everything, this hand is kind of cursed.
Actually avoiding, well, I mean, at least in no Trump, you don't have all of those hearts to lose necessarily.
No, they're going to go
That's
down
clubs to
fewer.
lose.
They're certainly going to go down fewer than they would in 4 hearts, but
But I mean, they have 7, looks like they have 7 winners, and that's about it. But I mean, I don't know if I was East-West and I got out for 200 on this hand with 25 high and an 8-card fit, and all the hooks losing. 2, 4. I have 5 sure losers in hearts. I mean, maybe 4 hearts can be doubled and go a few down sometimes.
I was thinking about
On a
this.
side note, do you think you're supposed to game force the West hand playing precision?
No.
You know, and these guys open, they are legitimately
Really
light
rake
openers.
hands. Yeah.
But they may easily not have any way of making a choice of games on an invitational auction.
Like if they ask, they can't then offer 3 no if partner shows 4 in some variety.
It's not unlikely that if they use one of, say, their asking bids, that their partners' 4-card maximums preclude them getting to no Trump.
I mean, and also East would probably just show a max anyway with this hand.
He certainly would. The thing is, West may or may not have the full value of a game force.
Mhm.
But, you know, the 2 10s and the 2 9s are pretty helpful. And
I mean, it definitely feels like if there's a game, it's 3 no with the West hand, with all of your side values and bad hearts.
I mean, if that's the case, it's possible that just firing out 2 no over a diamond is a better start.
I think if you invite with the West hand, though, I think the East hand is like an accept, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
But if you had concealed, maybe you would have gotten a hard lead. That would have been really nice.
maybe. I don't think I would lead a heart from the North hand, even on the auction. Like a
Yeah, people just don't lead ace, queen, 10, 4th very often. I mean, it would probably
Sure,
go
but
spade
maybe
lead.
they'd lead a spade and it's the same, but yeah.
I don't think you're getting a heart from ace, queen, 10, 4th. Other table currently, they've opened a balanced club and transferred into hearts, and then also offered up 3 no.
3 no. So they're in 3 no, same side, same auction.
Yeah, it's basically same auction.
Same inferential auction. Where...
Yeah.
So likely the same 2 down.
Yeah, it's tough to see a world where this isn't. I mean, at some point you might play on hearts yourself, right? Trying to get to 9 tricks.
Well, Lynn might do something weird and lead the king of diamonds at the other table.
Well, I mean, you know, he now has no further entries to the dummy.
Yeah, which is.
So he might be thinking, you know what, let's play a heart to the king and try and generate a late entry to dummy in hearts, that's not crazy.
He might also just like play the jack of diamonds,
which would give him 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, and 2 spades.
But if the jack of diamonds, like if you need the diamonds to be on side, the jack will retain, so you can play a heart to the king, right?
I mean, it seems like at this point his single likeliest lie to make the contract is ace, queen, doubleton of hearts on side.
Well, king of diamonds on side and ace of hearts on side is good enough.
Well, let's say the jack of diamonds wins. What do you do next? You have a stranded club winner if you don't take it.
Now you can play a heart to the king. Also, hi.
Hey!
But you can play a heart to the king and then another heart, assuming the ace of hearts is on the side. And now the opponents they either have to give you the entry to the stranded club, or you're going to be able to build, assuming hearts are 3-2, a late heart entry, right?
Look at your losers.
How many is that? That's
Yeah, I guess that
When there are
five,
this
so
many
you
losers,
need to I guess also have the heart suit blocked.
I mean, when
no,
there are
no.
this many losers,
If the ace of hearts is on side, that's only 4 losers, and they're 3-2. That's only 4 losers, right? 2 spades and 2 hearts.
2 hearts and
Well, that's assuming that they cannot generate a long club winner.
Right, but if they're generating a long club winner, then they're giving me an entry back to dummy anyway.
Well, you can have the entry, but you're still don't you have?
Well, now
you haven't knocked out the second heart loser.
I have to lose the ace of spades. Yes.
I mean,
So
you might need.
I probably need like 5-3 club. It's quite a parlay of
well, like four
compared
clubs
to
is
just
fine.
ace queen tight of hearts, right?
You play a heart to the king, and then you can exit a spade, right?
And they cash a heart and clear a club, or clear a club. I mean,
Well, if they cash a heart, if they clear clubs, that's my 9th trick. I'm assuming all of these worlds where the jack of diamonds won.
No, I think you're missing that. You're going to have, when they knock out one more club, you're going to have a club loser as long as somebody with a club gains the lead, and you've already lost 2 spades and 2 hearts.
Well, I haven't. They had to fly on the ace of hearts, right? Because if I sneak in the king of hearts, that's my 9th trick. King of hearts, 3 diamonds, 2 spades, 3 clubs.
no, the hearts are blocked.
Right.
And so
you
they
need the heart
can't
suit to be blocked for that.
Well, I don't need it to be blocked. They can't drive the 4th club before I get to 9 tricks.
I'm not seeing it. So
3 diamonds. So the king of diamonds is on side. That gives me 3 diamonds. I can build 2 spades. If they're
you're going to have to lose 2 spades to build 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna run the jack of diamonds. It's gonna hold. I'm gonna play a heart to the king.
Let's say that holds.
And then I'm gonna play a spade.
Okay, so they win the spade, and now they clear the club.
But now I have 3 diamonds, 2 spades, a heart, and 3 clubs.
3 diamonds. Oh yeah, 3 diamonds, 2 spades.
Yeah,
Right.
So
and if they flew on the heart, and cleared the club, as long as
flew on the heart and do the clubs. Now I don't have 2 heart losers. I have 1 heart loser, and one. And if clubs are 4-4, I have 1 club loser.
Yeah, so I guess if the ace of hearts was onside third, that would go in with the this one of
With
3
ace queen doubleton.
would go in with the ace queen doubletons as a success possibility.
So
It was actually a hand where winning the second spade probably made the most sense and just clearing the club.
Yeah, I think that was likely the defense's best option on this end.
Right. Although
the other
today,
table
with
has
hearts
started.
being 4-1, it doesn't.
Today it doesn't.
Urgency.
The other table started with a spade lead.
They did get a
Same
spade.
contract.
It doesn't matter. Right. Maybe they can get out for down 2.
I think they might get out for down 2 without much trying.
Down 2 is certainly easily in range, but perhaps not when your goal is taking 9 tricks.
Right. You might do some crazy things trying to take 9 and end up with 6.
I mean, just South's most natural defense is to win the spade and play a diamond, and that'll solve that for you.
Is it?
I mean, what do you want them to do with ace and 1 stiff, 5 low, 4 low? They're not going to play a club into ace king jack.
No, they're not gonna play club, but you might just play a ace and a spade or something.
So
They let a high spade. They know their partner doesn't have 4.
It will depend on whether they can discern that their partner's short in spades. If they can, then they'll be switching to a minor.
Yeah.
So the East Hand, I think, is an interesting question over no Trump, right? Whether do you actually have? I mean, maybe not over 14 to 16, but do you have slam interest, and is it worth sort of getting your clubs and your second suit or your shape in there versus just
I'm not sure that slam interest is the only reason you would get clubs in, because you can back into hearts also this
You
way.
can back into hearts, and you also just like might not belong in. You
No
might just
trump.
belong in clubs.
I think
Yeah.
the number one goal with the East hand is to avoid a foolish 3-0.
Right.
And you could easily belong in a 5-2 spade fit or maybe a 5-4, 6-4 club fit. And if you don't
Or
do
4-3
something,
heart fit.
yeah, if you don't
5-3
do
heart
something
fit.
that shows that you have some distribution, your partner will never know that, that their three little diamonds are working so nicely. So
Also,
certainly,
imagine a world where West's red suits are switched.
well, even on this hand, 6 clubs is playable. And
It looks like they're gonna bid it too.
6 clubs is playable.
Well, and partner has the King Jack Doubleton of diamonds, which is like if you had to make a list of the most horrible holdings for partner to have, that's pretty up there. And
They do have
it's
ace king fifth of clubs and king in a spade though, so
They also have some very good cards.
I don't know.
I
And
mean,
they know their
it's a very
partner's
nice looking
shape.
hand, but they would know that not to love their hand if their partner had an opportunity to show diamond shortness.
It looks like they did. It looks like they showed this sort of hand.
No, they didn't alert 3 hearts.
Right, that makes me feel like it might be their shape.
You just mean natural. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
feel for retransfers that like if this 3 diamond bid is accepting the minor that you just.
I mean, I feel like it's weird to play 3 diamonds shows a minor suit fit when you could have just bid 3 clubs.
I'm guessing that 2-0 is invitational or better in clubs. And the hands that are accepting the invitation have to
bid more than 3 clubs.
Right. So for West to say, I like what you're doing, he has to do more than 3 clubs. And I'm guessing that 3 hearts is low shortness. That just seems like a sort of a
normal, not balanced. Your first step wouldn't be balanced.
Some people play
if
that
you were
3-0
playing
is the balance
something where no, but 3-0 is non-forcing, so it doesn't. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but you can bid.
right.
You can bid 4 clubs with the balanced hand that's too good for 3-0 to be passed. But the only reason it's weird is because 3 hearts wasn't alerted, and they've been pretty dutiful in alerting the rest of their bids. So that leads me to.
Yeah, I mean, they might just play natural after 3 diamonds.
They might. It's just weird, I think, to have all this system and then like a natural fragment.
And these guys actually play a fairly complex, sort of relay style of bidding. So I would guess that this is a fleshed out area in the system. I don't know that it's possible if 3 diamonds was alerted as asking shape, then that might have said something about it as well.
Yeah, but they're on tablets, so they have to like self-alert, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so someone bid key card, someone responded, and now we're in 6 clubs.
4 diamonds was presumably key card.
And this was a pretty poor spot, but it's not the worst. And
right, I mean, you put one of West's hearts in the diamond suit, right? So and now it's actually a very good spot, right? You're on.
And with the underlead of the ace of diamonds, it will probably make.
Exactly. It's always fun when these hands pop up. You see the underlead of the ace, and they still just stick in the jack for whatever reason, and it's just sad.
Now, I think if you're a declarer and they lead a low diamond, it might occur to you to play the king.
It might. Not a lot going on.
Well, the Dutch pair in the other room is going to make 3-0 trump.
On this hand?
No, on the previous hand.
He's going to make 3-0 trump.
They started with 3 rounds of spades, and now he worked on hearts and tabled the 9 of hearts. So now he has like 2 heart tricks, 3 club tricks. He doesn't, and they set up the spades, so he doesn't quite need to do anything.
He's not going to lose 2 spades, 2 hearts, and a diamond.
Well,
I think he might still have 5 losers.
He is down 1. He is now down.
He's down 1.
Okay.
He still had to lose a diamond.
So, well, South figured out not to underlead the ace of diamonds, so that seems probably.
Oh, we're on this hand now. This hand is also.
Yes.
Anyway, they're gonna win 5 on the hand.
I think that. Yeah, to your point, Kaplan. Like, if you put a heart in with the diamonds, the hand gets a lot better. If you switch the red suits, the slam is just like throw it against the wall.
Right. You have to feel for them a little bit here. Partner didn't have to be 2-4, 2-5. They could have been 2-3, 3-5.
I mean, you only need to
3-4.
move the jack of clubs into the spade suit for slam to be just cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty hard. I mean, it's pretty hard to identify in the moment. I mean, perhaps West, knowing that partner has a stiff diamond and three hearts, would
also
would be able
it's
to
weird
downgrade their
not
hand
to.
substantially, but-
It's weird not to play West to have some ace or king of hearts and just drive to slam. So
I mean, West was the one who eventually drove to slam.
right. So West drove and South is on lead, right? So I think South just thought they might have the top heart card.
I think it's interesting whether West should drive to slam, opposite a stiff diamond.
I'm not sure that they should. They should
I think it's
make some
close.
tries.
I think it's really close.
Right.
But I mean, if they make any try, the other hand is going to go.
I mean, as Geoff said, though, like the jack of spades is the difference.
Right. That's what I mean. It just feels really like there's so many hands that you're just making slam. But partner also has a good hand, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, if East had the jack of spades instead of the jack of clubs, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just mean like, how many hands are you driving on where partner would not have accepted where slam is good? So, like, I think this hand partner would even accept. Like, I think if you started biting, I think partner's going to accept with the East hand. So, how many hands do you have that are not accepting that slam is good on? I don't know.
I mean, a lot of the time you get to this stage in the bidding, like, I don't know whether there was a shortness inquiry or if maybe three hearts was just a cubit over the three diamond acceptance, but that leaves West with just a vague knowledge. And at some point you just sort of have to either commit or not commit.
Sure.
Yeah, I could see him sort of being stuck. Slam was probably about as bad as it's ever going to be, and it still wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're just claiming on 3-3 spades here.
Yeah.
Partner could have had the 10. It's not illegal. Like,
yeah, even the 9 of spades might have come in handy, pick up a few extra circumstances.
This is interesting. So Declare is playing for a sort of squeeze position and essentially going all in on 3-3 spades, since that's what they need to make their contract. And will be a little bit disappointed to now lose the last two tricks instead of, so they're going down one extra.
Yeah, but they they got the extra chance of the king queen of hearts with 4 spades, right?
Yes, exactly. Which probably on balance is worth it, especially given the sort of the imbods and the expectation that the other room might not be in this contract.
That's actually not quite true. You get a little bit less than that because technically you can actually.
I think the count was wrong for the squeeze to actually gain him a winner.
You would need the person to have long hearts with long spades because the king queen of hearts is not enough. But if they have like king queen 10 fifth of hearts and 4 spades.
Am I missing something? They had 5 clubs, 3 spades are 8, a diamond and a heart are 10.
Oh yeah, no, you just keep the heart and the spade. Yeah.
So I think that they just, I mean, the contract hinged on 3-3 spades. They just chose to go for an extra under trick when the spades were in 3-3.
Yes. Or maybe some wild defensive error, but that's pretty hard to imagine looking at. Knowing that Declare has 5 spades. So, yeah.
Other table also has now bet up to 6 clubs on a slightly different but still strong no trump auction. They had less information about whatever East's distribution is, presumably. Maybe not. A lot of bids are alerted without explanations.
Well, it looks like the 5-4-3-1 hand bid key card.
It does. Presumably 3 spades agreed.
Because then they showed 2 without the queen, and then they were in slam.
They might end up losing another 3 on this hand. This is sort of to the point that we were talking about earlier about people playing for over tricks or not playing for the over tricks or not playing for the under tricks. It's another one where like it is kind of tough to see where cashing all the clubs gives you a real shot against presumably competent defenders. And the extra under trick is going to cost him 3 imps possibly. So there's like another situation where sometimes playing for the minimum beat is not always the worst decision.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you could certainly foresee 6 clubs being a duplicated contract, and there's no particular reason to, lose the extra 3 imps or 1 imp if it was, say, versus 3 no trump making 4 or 5 clubs making 5.
North is going to have to guess well on this hand.
Yeah, they have 2 major suits to get right.
Well, the diamond lead has to be a little bit anxiety-inducing when the opponents haven't really bid, and it looks like it might be shortness.
It's so scary.
Yeah, this contract.
You're never playing
go either way
on this hand, right? Like you're just never playing. It always feels bad when people play heart to the king against you and you have ace and 1.
I mean, it seems like the play is going to start king of diamonds, 10 of hearts, or 10 of diamonds, 10 of hearts.
Yeah, 10 of diamonds, 10 of hearts seems.
But what North does when the 10 of hearts goes low is not so clear.
It is definitely not.
I mean, like playing the 10 of hearts to the king is just like sort of giving up.
Well, so I think that
giving up ace queen third on the side, right?
Well, so some of it is that this diamond lead looks like a singleton sometimes, right? And so some of the time when West has ace and a heart, they're going to fly ace of hearts and give them a rough anyway. But
it gets spades wrong.
Wow, instantly. It's hard to believe that he got the hearts right immediately and the spades wrong immediately.
Well, I mean, he showed pretty good technique, like at trick 1 and 2. He played low, so it didn't look like he was taking a finesse. He played the king and the jack under to make it look like he had shorts in both hands. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe usually when my contract hinges on a guess, I take more than 1 nanosecond to try and make it.
I mean, the instant spade play was weird because
I think if you are going to instant play, you're supposed to instant play the king because it's always it makes your opponents feel worse if you instant play the king and it's right. Whereas if you instant play the jack and it's right, no one cares. But if you instant
play, this is like the end of the match. Who cares if you're making them feel bad or good?
This is the last board. There's a little.
I think for me, my thinking is that if the jack forces the ace, I still need to avoid a diamond rough, and I need to or a club finesse. But if the jack forces if the king holds, I'm home.
Yeah.
So I usually make the play that just ends the play, and the king winning would have ended the play.
And it really feels like there was a short diamond on lead, so maybe you're just supposed to play for the ace on side.
Actually, the 5 of spades coming back that quick feels like it's from the ace, right?
It may not be from the ace, but it does look like
it doesn't feel like
looking at. It looks like the king of clubs is offside, probably. I don't know. It seems like
this could be a very important 11 imps for USA2.
They did lose the 3 that we were talking about on 23, which was kind of expected.
Well, so after the first board, there were no game swings.
No, a lot of actual under tricks, right? Under tricks and over tricks, and maybe a small part score swing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small.
Well, there was the 5 club potential swing that no one got to. Couple of tricks against 3-0 and against Slam.
Kevin, you did.
Yes, I just switched us over to the other table so we can watch how Amber leads 4 hearts.
Okay, not the exact same. That same suit.
What was the lead on the other hand? Was it the 5?
I think so.
I think it was the 4. I think you're wrong.
I think it was the 4. I think this is effectively the same situation. I assume that the bidding was effectively the same, that
Yeah, I think too. I
Yeah.
think they bid mixed at the other table with the south hand, and at this table they bid three hearts, which
Also,
mixed.
Right. Obviously, east-west at both tables don't play week 2 bids.
They're very disciplined juniors.
Or they're colorblind and didn't realize that they were not vulnerable.
so 3 or 2?
I mean, I would be pass or 2.
Yeah, come
I
on.
am passer too. But it's
I'm telling
funny
you,
to
I've
it's
heard
funny to
many
note.
many people from the Spectre team just open 3 with these kind of hands. Like,
Yeah,
I would say I would
you
bid
could go
around
for a
2 or
number,
3.
but if you're worried about going for a number, you might also just go for a number in 2 spades. So,
not that you're worried about a number. It's that it goes 3 spades past 4 spades, and you have this hand, and you're like, oh my god, I'm not taking any tricks.
2 feels.
if you'd open 2 spades, they were gonna bid 2-0 and 3 spades opposite a minimum.
Two spades is always great when you have like queen doubletons on the side are like phenomenal. I love opening week 2s with queen double on the side. Like the queen doubleton of hearts is probably why I would open this hand 2 spades.
Yeah, that factors in. I think that does matter. It's nice to make your queens in the bidding.
They just get it wrong all the time.
So what do we think? Is Amber going to make the same king low jack play at trick 1 and lead a heart?
Yeah, she's definitely gonna win the dummy.
I mean, I think she's gonna table the 10 of hearts. Not sure that's right or wrong, but
well, I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10's probably better in case it's ace queen third on the side, right? Because it would have felt bad if you had played a heart to the jack and it had gone low.
Right, because you don't have a clear dummy entry back, and
Right.
let them
Exactly.
play diamonds again.
If you're going to play the jack, you want to start with the 10.
Yeah. Yeah, this diamond still feels like shortness. Like all of these diamonds just continue to feel like shortness to declare.
It does, except that your likelihood of succeeding in this contract if the diamond is short is not great.
It's low. You're missing too many aces.
It's just the ace of spades on side, right? Like that's and I guess just
You're missing way too many aces to cater to stiff diamond. I mean,
it's just you need the ace of spades on side and the ace of hearts in east, right? Those are the 2 cards that matter.
Well, we still have a club finesse to survive, right?
Yeah, but you know,
So you need both the ace of spades and the ace of hearts with east.
But if both of those are with east, it doesn't matter what the club situation is.
I mean, it seems like your single best chance of making this contract is that the diamond is from 3 little. And if that's the case, then making your normal heart play seems optimal.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's guessed the hearts.
Yeah, I suspect we will see a spade here as well. I guess maybe there's some hope that West started with a doubleton or with a singleton diamond and you just like found gold.
Right. Well, in their auction, perhaps is a little less clear, right? Because North just raised to 4 hearts. They could have 5 diamonds, plausibly.
Right. I mean, so that's basically you have 2 options, right? Based on this bidding, you either play West for a singleton diamond or the queen of spades. But the singleton diamond is a real
The interesting question is whether the longer it takes East to play a spade or not to play a spade, what does that tell us about East's decision?
I don't know about this. If you play your partner for the queen of spades, it's more like, is the spade going away? Which it doesn't look like it is. Unless they have 3, like, I don't think both the spade and the club can go away. So if you're playing your partner for the queen of spades, you don't have to play spades right now. Looking at the king of clubs.
Well, it turns out I think the only thing you need to avoid on this play is a club.
Yeah. Like, if he's looking at all of these cards, like, you might as well take all of your chances by trying to give your partner a diamond rough, because none of your other tricks are going away.
No, it's a suit preference 7 of diamonds.
Oh, well, no, he just has 2 diamonds left, so, like...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the 7 is actually like...
I mean, absent anything else to go off of, maybe there's,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the 7 of diamonds was that great.
Geoff,
It
actually,
could just be a cat card.
it's not a cat card. I wanted to get your opinion on what Kaplan was asking earlier, Geoff, about the longer they think, is it the ace or the queen if they switch to a spade?
I mean, people underlead quickly. I'd say on average, the quick low card through is the underlead.
Or three little.
I
But even
mean,
three
when it
little is
matters.
weird.
If it's guessable, I find that they typically do the lead away from the ace faster than the lead away from the queen.
Yeah, that's been my experience as well, but it's interesting to see how that holds up, over time.
Well,
depending on the player.
Well, so Amber's
Well, also,
in a
the
guess
other
position.
thing is, if she guesses that West has six spades to start, is he more likely to preempt ace six or queen six? Ace six seems like not a preempt to me, so that's also a reason to get it wrong.
I feel like ace six. I don't think that people are going to look at ace nine, ace six, then decide not to preempt actually. But I'm not sure if you can read exactly that they have six spades.
It looks like you can with what's going on.
They've pitched three, just
They've
kind of
pitched
weird.
three.
Well, I mean,
And
East is getting close to a takeout double of one heart if they have the ace of spades.
They are.
let's guess.
I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to get this right or not.
It's a tough one. I mean, she did great to get to a position where she made her guess late in the hand. Also, at this point, playing the king has a little bit going for it in that if it succeeds, don't you get an over trick?
You do.
Yes.
You certainly do.
Yeah. I don't know. No, this was a tough one.
Anam, chat would like to know why you think ace six does not have a preempt, but queen six is.
I mean, I think that ace six would have been a two spade opening.
Both seem like preempting to me, but when you're looking at six card suits, if you have to decide which one they didn't preempt, maybe ace six seems like a defensive holding, like ace empty six in a balanced hand. Maybe you just don't preempt, because if you know there's 6-2-2-3.
I think that well, for me, I think that the West hand was just below the criteria for a weak two bid in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would preempt both hands, but if you had to give me a would you rather situation.
Well, I mean, if 4 points is below your range and 6 points is within your range, then I would say I'd be more likely to have the ace for a preempt and the queen for a pass. But I mean, queen six and ace six, they're both suits that I would preempt with. But this one is just too weak to qualify as a weak two bid. So it was a tough guess. Interesting match.
Yes, so it looks like the final score will be 14-30. We can go take a peek at some results here.
Well, USA1 beat China by a fair amount.
Yes. No, it closed
not
up at the end. So.
They closed up in the last few, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so
with 3 to go, it was like 4-34 or something.
These scores are corrected.
Yes.
Oh, they won 23 in the last two. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So, but yeah, so we see USA2 is still sitting in 13th, but they're about 23 VPs behind 8th.
So they picked up 3.
There's
so
actually
they definitely need to.
And there's a correction incoming on this. I think this is still not corrected.
No, I'm pretty sure this is corrected because they were around 126 going into this match. For them to have gotten to 137 would have had to require them to have gotten 5 from the previous match.
Got it. So yeah, there was a scoring correction while you were gone, Kaplan. That swung 20 imps in the previous match between USA2 and Turkey. On a misinformation on a lead against a grand.
That doesn't get much bigger than that.
So 20 imp rulings are very few and far between. Yeah, so that picked them up an additional 5 and change VPs. So
that would put them in 11? No, 10, 12.
So we're at 160 on a 140 average. So qualifying is now at like 1.28 or something.
Yeah, this is the corrected. These scores are corrected. So the US needs to start averaging, probably 11 and a half or 12 from here to feel confident that they can qualify. This was a good team to get out of the way, and they actually had a little bit of misfortune that a 26 imp swing was occurred on the very first board, and no other big swings were available.
Yeah, and especially because the 26 imp swing actually could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
They reached the wrong slam. We're off a rough, but managed to right side it.
But look at
Very
the
hard to
swing
lead
that does.
ace in a club.
That would drop the Netherlands 10 victory points and raise USA2 10 victory points, which would have made them really knocking on the door to qualify.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go. So what did we say? There are 23 matches, so they still have another 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so they definitely have to pick it up a bit, but it's still very much in the game. So
As we said at the start, they need to start winning matches.
Yes. So in the under 21s, we see our USA1 is still in the lead, and USA2 dropped a little bit because they just lost to France, but are still in qualifying position. In the women's, USA1
Picked up a couple.
picked up a little bit, but still have a ways to go for qualifying. Here, USA1 extended their lead further in the under 16, and USA2 won their match, so got them a little bit closer to qualifying, but still a little ways.
Yeah,
away.
they're pretty close actually. They're certainly within striking distance. This is 19 matches. They have 8 to go or something, 7 to go, and this is 19 out. That's not so bad.
Mm-hmm. And finally, the U31s. We see USA1 lost to Chinese Taipei, so fell a little bit further behind. And so, yeah, there are lots of other matches going on because of the various delays. And in theory, there's like the USA1, U21, and all sorts of other stuff if we wanted to hang out and do more. I'm happy to call it here, though. And is my microphone still really bad?
I mean, it was okay.
Okay. Better.
Actually, when it gets too close to you, it gets worse.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, there's it's a Goldilocks microphone.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll try that and see. Try not to make anyone deafened here.
All right, guys. Thanks for commentating. I will be off.
That sounds good. Thanks everybody for
thanks
tuning in, and thanks for joining me. To Christian, Anam, and Geoff. Really appreciate you leading the charge today. So
we'll be back tomorrow at 10:45 Eastern, right?
Yes, precisely.
Well,
Precisely.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
I'm off duty. Have a good one.
Thanks, y'all.
Have a good one.